Welcome to the tutorial of Glossary security flow. In this tutorial, we will cover the following points: how to add a domain, how to add a subdomain, user roles, users and their access rights. And the last one is adding terms. Let's start with the first point. To add a new domain, you will have to navigate to the Administration tab and click on Data Domains. Once you are in the Data Domain tab, you will see the Add button. Click on it and you will be redirected to the configuration page. You will have to add the name, description, data owner, and data steward. In this case, we will add CS1 as a data steward. And click Save. You will now see the domain that you have added. The next point is adding a subdomain. From Administration, click on the Data Subdomain tab. Similarly, as we added a data domain, we will click on the Add button to add the subdomain. You will have to select a data domain for which you want to add a subdomain. In this case, we will select the data domain that we just created. You have to enter the name, description, you can set the priority, you have to add the data owner, in this case will be the main account, the data steward. For the subdomain, we are going to add CS2 user as a data steward. And click Save. You will now see the subdomain that you have created. Let us now see the users, user roles and their access rights. An important point to remember is that only editors or admins can be added as data stewards. We can see that primarily there are three user groups. The first one is administrator, the second is editor, and the third is a user. We come to the users. We can see that CS1 is an editor, CS3 is a user, and CS2 is also an editor. Now the last point to cover is adding terms. An important point to note is that in order to add a term, you must have either editor or admin role. As an example, we will log in to a default user role account and see if we can add a term. In this case, CS3 is a user role. We are logged in to CS3. Here, we will go to the Business Glossary to add a term. As you can see, the Add Term button is disabled for this user that belongs to the default user group. Users who are data stewards of a subdomain can only add term to that specific subdomain. Users who are data stewards of a data domain can add term to all subdomains that are part of that data domain. When adding a subdomain, we assigned it to the user CS2, which is an editor group user. Let's check and log in to CS2. We are now logged in to the CS2 user. The CS2 user was assigned the information technology subdomain. Let's add a term to see if that is true. In Business Glossary, click on Add Term, select the subdomain. Here you can see that CS2 user has the access to operations main domain and the information technology subdomain. You can enter the term name, the title, and the definition, and the term type, and click Save. CS1 user was assigned as a data steward to the data domain. Let's create another data subdomain and see whether the CS1 user has access to both the domains. Now that we have two subdomains in the operations domain, we will see whether the user CS1 has access to both of them. As mentioned earlier, if a data steward is added for a domain, it will automatically be inherited by the subdomain, as you can see here. Let's log into the CS1 user and see if both the subdomains are visible. We will go to the business glossary and add a term. As you can see, CS1 user has both the information technology and the cloud ops subdomains accessible. You can create multiple subdomains for single domains and assign different users to each domain or subdomain. Thank you.